All right, why is it so much harder to go from this position to go to this position? Well, the reason is this is what we train the most. This is what we're used to. We can see in front of us, we can see our hands. Once we change that perception, such as closing our eyes or putting on a blindfold, then the handstand gets substantially harder to hold. And when we go to that look under, we're looking under more and more and more, which brings me to a philosophical question. When I'm in this position, am I looking down? Or since I'm viewing the sky, am I looking up? Because my head's going down. What? But I'm viewing the sky. And as you can tell right there, this is raw. You can tell it took me a moment to get in that position to stabilize it. Down here was kind of waving back and forth a little bit. So this is going to bring me to my first point. The shoulder positioning and then the hip positioning. Our shoulders are going to stay the same. They're going to be locked. Our shoulders are locked out, just like in every handstand. We're pushing out. We're not just resting like this. No. Don't rest on your shoulders. Push up and out and hold. Hold really hard. This is where the wall can be your best friend. It's going to help you build that strength, the endurance to be able to hold your shoulders pushed up and out, fully elevated for 30 seconds, for a minute, for longer than a minute. So if you're having troubles pushing up, holding your handstand out, shrugged out, practice on the wall more. Hold it on the wall, fully shrugged out, and then you're going to gain that endurance. You gain more strength. Now, as for the posterior pelvic tilt, the hip positioning. So normally in our handstand, especially if we want a straight line, we're going to go from here to, we're going to tuck it in as a PPT, posterior pelvic tilt, as opposed to sticking our butt out. Well, in the handstand, and this is about being able to look under. This video isn't about getting a perfectly straight line. So here, the posterior pelvic tilt doesn't make or break this, because you may want to change it depending on the handstand shape you're going to do. For example, when I'm looking under and I start going into more of a hollow back position or a back bridge, I'm bending over, well then I'm no longer in a posterior pelvic tilt. Or if I do it tucked, I'll just show you a few positions where I won't have a posterior pelvic tilt. So let's say I'm here, and then I want to tuck, and then there, I'm sticking my butt out right there. See? It's the anterior pelvic tilt, just to kind of give it a different shape. I want to go like this. And look under. And as you can see, I wasn't holding a PPT there. So if you're wondering about that, the posterior pelvic tilt is not a make or break it in this move. If you want that straight line to look under, then you're going to hold that posterior pelvic tilt. And in the beginning, it may help you more, because it can be difficult to stabilize the straight line if you're not holding the posterior pelvic tilt. When I first started looking under into a handstand, I would always find myself falling out to the side, or I would be afraid of falling over into a back bridge or just flat on my back, which I actually did a few times. And some of you may have that fear. Because when you look under, your body wants to go that way a lot of the time. I get it. And we're gonna cover why. We're gonna address how to fix that in just a second. Just to get over that fear, guys. Handstand 101, just like when you were learning the handstand, just to look straight forward. You're gonna get really good at cartwheels so that you feel comfortable cartwheeling out. So anytime you get into this position, you're gonna fall. You can just lift one hand up, pivot over to the side, and you should get comfortable going each way. So, like that. And that's how I bail out 99% of the time. Just off to the side. There's always that chance, especially when you start looking under more and more and more, that your body's going to want to go boop and fall over. Well, to address this problem, I started doing back bridges, and I got really good at a back bridge. So you can do a back bridge against the wall, get it deeper and deeper, lower and lower, until you're on the ground. And then you can get a higher surface, such as a couch, and then you can practice falling intentionally from a handstand onto that once you're comfortable with back bridge. And then that's going to help you get over that fear. Because when you fall forward like that, and you have a pretty decent back bridge, you're going to catch yourself. It's not going to be that bad. I'll do one intentionally for you right now. I don't have that much space, but let's see if I can stay on the sidewalk. I don't think my back bridge is that good, but let's find out. So we're like, uh-oh, I'm gonna look under. Oh no! Not the end of the world. In fact, you might have learned a cool new move. So get your back bridge down to help you get over that fear. It's not that bad. Okay, which brings me to the key point. Finally, this is what really helped me in the beginning. So we've got our shoulder position locked. We're not afraid of falling out. But every time we go to look under, we just lose our balance. Okay, so the more we look under like this, the more we're going to press with the flat ends of our fingers. This is where that handstand clinch comes into play. And if you watch all of my handstand tutorial videos, I talk about this clinch and I emphasize the importance of it. The clinch with the flat ends of the fingers puts me more in a position to be able to press harder with my fingertips to push myself, to prevent myself from falling that way. Because when I'm falling over that way, if I press with my fingers really hard, this grip, it's a lot of hand strength and forearm strength. When I'm pressing down and forward like that, it's preventing me from falling that way. So the more I look under, the harder I'm going to press with the ends of my fingers, and the less pressure is going to be on my palms. My palms are still going to be flat on the ground, but most of the pressure is on my flat ends of my fingers. Right here, I'm pressing really, really hard. And I'll get a closer view of my hands now. There's always a slight motion going on, a counterbalance between the flat ends of my fingers and my palms. My palms are pushing down to push me this way, like this. My fingers push me this way. So when I'm looking under, my body's going to want to start falling this way. And when my body starts falling this way, if I'm pressing with the flat ends of my fingers and I'm squeezing like this, I can prevent that and I can push myself back to the center. So it's a game of constantly pushing yourself back to the center with the flat ends of your fingers. This is mostly hand strength, forearm strength at this point. And that's something you just have to play with and practice with, and you're gonna figure it out. Once you get that clinch and you start using your finger strength, you're gonna learn that the more you go under, if you're pressing really hard, pressing down right here, and not with your fingertips, but with the flat ends. That's why I got this grip like this, and not like this. That's the secret. That's where the magic is in the handstand, is learning how to do those quick hand reactions. They're really quick hand adjustments between the palm and the fingertips. And when we're looking under, we're going to be pressing very hard on our fingertips, as opposed to when we're doing a normal handstand, just looking slightly ahead. The balance is more centered between fingers and palms. Now, if we were to pivot forward like this, most of our pressure would be on the palms. So let's say I'm gonna go like this. See, now most pressure is on my palm. I'm still balanced, I'm still clenching, see? But then I look under, fingers, more fingers, palms, palms, fingers, 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 palms, fingers. And that's the biggest thing to think about. At that point, I'm not even really thinking about down here. My shoulders are locked, so I know they're not changing positions. It's just my head, really. And then the clench. You get a hard clench, and then start moving your head slowly, pressing harder while you're feeling the balance. That's the key. That's the magic. Play with it, practice it, and you'll figure it out. Keep lifting yourself. Let's check out the shirt, guys. Go ahead and get yourself one. I got a few different designs too. Check out the link below. As for these shoes you see me wearing, these Fei Yue, look at these. It's got that kung fu grip on the bottom. These are so lightweight. I've been training these for about 2 weeks now. I love them. I love them. They're a shoe brand called Fei Yue from China. And they're like traditional kung fu Tai Chi shoes. Tai Chi shoes. That's hard to say. I like them a lot. If you want to check them out, I'll put a link in the description for these Fei Yue shoes. So go ahead and check them out.